pressure or other things, whereas he is good in sports or good in arts and other things. So the intelligence level for different areas are different time to time. Now, going and in between, if you have any doubts, you can just feel free to stop me. I'll be discussing. So normally the popular one is the machine learning. So normally nowadays everywhere you are hearing machine learning. So that's why I said the last part I included that we have some intelligence in some machines also. You can see that some machines is there in the end. So that why we included machines is that we are trying to make the machines intelligent like us. We cannot make it exactly like us. There are some issues. I'll be discussing those things when time will come. So basically the most popular word is along with artificial intelligence now we are having machine learning. Now this machine learning is nothing but it is a subset of this artificial intelligence. Okay, so artificial intelligence is a bigger picture and machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence. What are the other subsets I'll be discussing later in my subsequent lectures. And one particular thing which is now coming like your self-driven cars and other things which are very much popular in the news and other things. Tesla is coming in, Google is having this kind of thing. There is a particular thing called Google Net, AlexNet, different algorithms of deep learning are there. So you hear one more thing called the deep learning. So deep learning is a subset of machine learning. So these are the three popular things which are now in the market, and they are having different algorithms associated with them. So the main thing is the artificial intelligence. It is having many things like natural language processing, fuzzy logic, and expert systems, and many things are there. The electrical students might be aware of the expert systems which were used. Electrical students, any of you have heard about expert systems?
No, sir.
So you can look into this the plant. You guys are mainly for power system, maybe. So you can look into this power plant systems before the SCADA and PLC, or even in SCADA and PLC based power system control. You were having these expert systems where the main idea was that. I'm just going a bit into electrical. The others you can just go by the example what I'm giving. Is most of you know how this electrical guys are studying that, and for others who are not aware into this, like we have this Palatana plant where we generate electricity. But how we generate electricity? Anybody any idea? Other than electrical students, I think they know. Anybody how this Palatana plant is generating electricity?
So thermal maybe.
Others?
It's a stream by stream.
Yes, but by steam. But that steam is generated by how? How is this steam being generated? Electrical students, any of you have visited the Palatana power plant? Electrical students, during your UG or PG, or there was a industrial visit or something like that?
No, sir.
No, sir.
You guys should, or any power plant have you visited?
Sir?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Dumbur
Yes, sir.
Palatana.
Yes, sir.
We have
Yes, sir.
Dumbur Palatana and Bormura Palatana.
Okay, so how the electricity is being generated there? You are using the electricity, and being electrical engineers, at least you should be able to tell how the electricity is.
I have visited to the Shivan Samudra this power plant. It is the combination of solar and hydro power plant.
Okay, means solar is fine. Solar is directly being converted to the electricity. What about the others? In hydro, what is happening?
Sir, in hydro there is one type of reservoir. So
Okay.
which will be filled with the water by rain or some other means. The water will be filled, and at the time of when there is peak load or continuous shedding of the load, they'll on that this reservoir. There will be one turbine which will rotate, and that will convert mechanical energy into electrical energy by using the generator.
Okay, so that is how the hydropower stations work, as he has said. Means mainly because of means everywhere in electrical power generation, you have to rotate the turbine in some way so that the mechanical is converted to electrical. That is the basic idea. Okay, so he has given the example of hydro. And most of the things, whether it is a coal-based power plants which are there in, they are popular in Meghalaya. There are a lot of coal-based power plants where coal is used as a fuel to burn so that the boiler is heated and boiler is generating steam to rotate the turbine. The same thing happens in Palatana. Only difference is that instead of coal, we have abundance of CNG or natural gas. That's why Tripura was the first state to have the CNG autos in the northeast. Okay, so we have CNG, abundance of CNG, and that is very cheap. So we are having this CNG is helping us to take care of this heating of the boiler. In Meghalaya, there are a lot of coal plants, so they use coal. Somewhere they use nuclear plants, but the basic idea is that unlike hydro, where water is rotating the turbine, here the steam is rotating the turbine in Palatana also. So here what happens is that for when you have steam rotating the turbine, we have to take care of many things. The many things that we are having is that whether it is a coal or natural gas or CNG or even diesel, if you have, normally we don't, nowadays we don't use diesel and other things, but basic idea is that you have a fuel which is burning, we have a boiler which is having a fixed amount of pressure, and because if the pressure is more, what will happen? The boiler will burst, and the pressure is less, the turbine will not turn to generate the relevant things. Along as if there is a chances of the boiler being overheated and blasting, so what you have to do, you have to cool the boiler. So you have cooling agents, like your cars have cooling agent. I think many of you know that in cars we have to put coolants, isn't it? Those who have cars at their homes, I think you know we have to put coolant in the car, isn't it? Different coolants are put in the car.
Yes, sir.
So here in the boiler, what we need coolant to cool the boiler thing. Means we have a big chamber which is the boiler, and under the boiler you are having this fuel which is say burning and generating the steam. So the steam has to be controlled, the coolant has to be controlled, the pressure inside the boiler has to be maintained, the fuel flow has to be maintained. So you have so many things. So basic idea is that earlier when we didn't have this AI, machine learning, deep learning and other things, or automated control systems, what was done, some people were there, the very experienced people, they will control temperature ज़्यादा हो गया तो मैं क्या करूँगा, वो coolant का flow बढ़ा दूँगा या फिर fuel का flow कम कर देंगे. So if we reduce the fuel flow, what will happen? The heat will reduce, so the boiler will cool down. Or the other way is I will increase the coolant flow. Coolant ज़्यादा flow होगा तो the boiler ठंडा होगा. So somebody who is experienced, he knows the optimal way in which he or she can handle the coolant and other things. Okay, so that is one thing. Now slowly the SCADA DCS PLC came up. Electrical students or maybe electronic students also have heard about SCADA DCS PLC.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
nowadays here we have the expert systems. What is done is that if you have a say I am a very experienced person who is there, but I cannot be everywhere, as well as it is very costly for me having there 24/7. So what you do, you get my expertise converted into a set of data and you make an expert system out of it based on my knowledge base. I have some knowledge based on which I know at what time to increase the fuel flow, at what time decrease the fuel flow, at what time increase the pressure, at what time decrease the pressure, at what time I should the load is going to be shed, at that what time I have to generate more electricity, at what time I don't need. Say summer में मुझे दिन में भी ज़्यादा electricity चाहिए होगा, winter में मुझे दिन में ज़्यादा electricity चाहिए होगा, provided it is very cold like Meghalaya and hill stations. but in other places in winter, like in Tripura, you don't switch on your heater when it is unless it is too very say 6 or 7 degrees. We don't have the idea. Many people don't have a heater in the houses, isn't it? So the amount of power consumption is less in winter because the fans are not rotating, and in summer, whereas in hill stations it is other way around. In summer there will be less say power consumption during the day, and in winter there will be more power consumption during the day, because day and night, because more at the night, because you are having the heaters on. So those things are there. So based on that, the expert who is always handling the power plant, he has the experience to provide to everybody. So what we do is that we try to extract the information and make the machine a replica of that particular expert, and there we apply AI, machine learning and deep learning. Initially it was based on control systems and other things, but they saw that automated controls are not as per the expert. So what we have to do, we have to include some non-linearity. Human brain is totally non-linear. वो machine जैसा 0 और 1 नहीं होगा. So as the machine जैसा 0 और 1 नहीं होगा, sometimes we have to take care. It may be that today I see somebody, आज मैं राहुल को देखा और राहुल का or maybe I have interacted with Rahul for the first time, and उसका चेहरा देख के मुझे अच्छा नहीं लगा. It may be that, or it may be that मुझे उसका चेहरा देख के अच्छा लगा. So there are some ways which we perceive some things which may be correct, may be incorrect, but that is an internal perception coming in because we have a brain which is a non-linear engine. Okay, everything that we handle is non-linear, isn't it? Human brains that we handle. So what we are trying to do is that with artificial intelligence, machine learning and deep learning, we are trying to frame in the non-linearity into the machines so that they can perceive and work like us. That is the basic idea. Okay, clear up to this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then coming to this Alan Turing, I think you have seen the movie. How many of you have seen the movie or on Alan Turing? Anybody? Name of the movie?
No, sir.
अरे इंग्लिश फिल्म कोई नहीं देखता है क्या?
सर देखता हूँ सर, बट ये नहीं
सर देखता हूँ लेकिन ये नहीं देखा है.
एलन टर्निंग वाला मूवी का क्या नाम? इमिटेशन गेम. एनीबॉडी हैज सीन?
सर वो एनिग्मा वाला है क्या?
इमिटेशन गेम गूगल कर लो. Imitation game. There's a movie on the life of Alan Turing. So he's called the father of AI. So he has tried to do can machine thing. So if nobody has seen the movie, I can just briefly say one or two things about it. Anybody has seen, then you can tell me.
यस सर वो
देखा है?
कोड चेंज किया था ना सर, वो एनिग्मा का कोड.
हाँ एनिग्मा का कोड. हाँ.
हाँ.
So basic idea was that during the World War, the enemy was sending some. Enemy had a machine which was actually means the basic idea was that पहले तो वो लोग लैंग्वेज वाले करते थे कि कोई एक अननोन लैंग्वेज में मैसेज भेजते थे, तो दोनों तरफ एक एक आदमी रख दिया वो लैंग्वेज में बात करने वाला, उससे डिटेक्शन हो जाता था. Later on what they did, they made a machine. The Germans made a machine which will say whatever message you do, it will convert it to some other message and send it. So what Turing was very good in deciphering those things, but it was taking time. So he said that why don't I make a reversible system? Reversible system is that by taking all the options and getting that, I will try to decode and make a reverse system. जैसे वो Chinese लोग करते हैं reverse engineering. Reverse engineering, anybody has the idea? Reverse engineering?
Yes sir.
So in reverse engineering, what happens is that I have a black box. अभी जैसे you have your mobile phones and other things. All the students are having mobile phones, and there you have some chips. and whether it is Samsung, Sony, or Apple, or your this MI, or any of the Chinese things, what they do is that they don't disclose what is the architecture of the circuit inside the chip that is handling the mobile. So now Apple is working very well. So what you can do, you can reverse engineering, do reverse engineering on the somebody's audio is on, somebody is outside. Just switch off the audio. Somebody's audio is on. Okay, so what they do in reverse engineering is that they if I have a pair of input and output, I don't know what is inside the thing. So the idea is that based on the input and output, I'll predict what is inside the system. Like if I ask the statistics students and say I just give them a number set like 1 2 3 4 5 6 एक कॉलम डाल दिया और साइड में मैं ये डाल दिया 1 then 1 4 then 9 then your 16, then I put 25, then I put this 36 and so on. Then they directly said अरे सर ये तो स्क्वायर वाला फॉर्मूला है क्योंकि इनपुट सब जो नंबर है वो आउटपुट सबका स्क्वायर में है, isn't it? Stand guys. Now you cannot directly find out the equation of these kind of nonlinear systems unless you are able to have a prediction based system. So what Alan Turing was trying to do was that he was trying to imitate that's why it's called the imitation game. He was trying to imitate the machine that the Germans are having, and after he could imitate it, they were able to decode each and every code if they are able to. So that is reverse engineering kind of thing. But only difference is that in case of reverse engineering, there is a particular input-output pattern, and you take all the input-output pattern and do it that way. But in Alan Turing case, he didn't have all the input-output patterns. So because that machine was having 2 to the power some amount of say very big amount of say possibilities. So because that machine itself was actually again changing time to time. So Germans were changing the machines. There was a system of changing the mode of the machine. So they were changing it time to time. So what he was trying to do, he was trying to make a general machine which can predict any other machine. So he was trying to teach the machines to think. Okay, that was long back. So that's why he is called the father of AI, because he was he had paved the stone for this particular domain. So this AI enables the machine to think, and without any human intervention, they will automatically think and find out what will be the probable solution. So it is a broad area of CS, and nowadays everybody is using it, and it makes machine work like human intelligence. Now it has a lot of statistics, mathematics also into it, because without statistics and mathematics, none of the computer science things work out. And electrical and electronics guys and IT guys are applying this in each and every field. And not only this, even in biological fields, a lot of AI and machine learning are being fed, because we want to take the doctors out of the market. Moreover, we have very less number of doctors. So in healthcare also we are applying AI, so that at least because like India is a very populated country, you know that we have very few doctors compared to the number of patients. So what we do here is that if we can have a mechanism in which, like जो MD medicine वाला करता है, वो सब टेस्ट ले लिया, वो टेस्ट के बाद बोल दिया कि आदमी नॉर्मल है कि एबनॉर्मल है, इसके बाद कोई एक्सपर्ट के पास भेजता है. So if we can have a AI based system which can look into your reports and historical data, तुम्हारा blood pressure क्या है, what is your bilirubin, what is your BMI, what is your say liver function test and other things. If it can directly see, and you already know that when you take a medical report from the pathology lab, they also give the standard values. So they'll see, just like matching in marriages, 36 में से कितना गुण मैच होता है, तो उसमें से देखिएगा कि अगर 40 टेस्ट किया है उसमें से कितना टेस्ट में ये नॉर्मल है और कितना टेस्ट में एबनॉर्मल है. अगर वाइटल कुछ टेस्ट में द पेशेंट इज एबनॉर्मल देन ही शुड कंसल्ट अ डॉक्टर. अभी लिवर वाला डॉक्टर कंसल्ट करना है या ब्लड वाला या समथिंग एल्स. For that you can go to the MD medicine. Other than that you can leave out. The machine is telling you are passing the fitness test, you go ahead. If anybody is joining any private company or even in government sector, you know that there is a mandatory medical test which doctors are doing, isn't it, for before joining. So as the mandatory medical test has to be done, it can be automated also. सब कुछ टेस्ट रिपोर्ट ले लिया और ऑटोमेटिकली बोल दिया ये फिट है क्या अनफिट है. अभी जिसका केस थोड़ा माने फ्रिंज लाइन में है, यू दोस केसेस कैन गो टू द डॉक्टर. और जो एक्सट्रीम केसेस है, आइदर फुल्ली फिट है और फुल्ली अनफिट है, उसको तो डायरेक्ट एक्सेप्ट या रिजेक्ट कर सकते हैं. वी डोंट हैव टू इन्वॉल्व अ डॉक्टर फॉर दिस काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स. वो तो पैथोलॉजी वाला भी कर देगा, इजंट इट? क्लियर? Okay. So basically this AI attempts not just to understand but also to build intelligent entities. So in general we say that it is a in science and engineering for making these intelligent machines or you can say the computer programs. What we have to do is that we have to my power has gone. Anyway, I'll be in the mobile. You can see my slide or my slide is disconnected.
Yes, sir, you can see.
Is my slide disconnected?
No, sir.
No, sir. No, sir.
Slide दिख रहा है? नहीं दिख रहा है?
Yes, sir. This right.
दिख रहा है?
Yes, sir.
अच्छा. Okay.
Right, sir.
Okay. Thank you. So.
लेकिन सर एक साउंड आ रहा है सर.
Yeah, sorry, वो power चला गया था. Anyway, so I'm sharing my screen again.
Sir, some background noise is coming.
Yeah, that's my UPS.
Okay.
So anyway, so here basic idea is that what we'll be having is this we cannot confine ourselves to few methods, but what we're trying to do is that we are trying to include biology into the computer programs and develop the understanding that is there. So that's why we say it artificial, because artificially we are trying to replicate the brain and bring in the intelligence into our computer programs or mathematics there. Okay, so there are different types of artificial intelligence. Basic idea is that it has to have the ability to imitate the human behavior, and it may be hardware based or it may be software based. So more we are working on the software based. For hardware based, one particular nowadays they are working on if you are interested, you can Google eBrains. Anybody has any idea what eBrains or spiking neural networks are? Anybody, if you have heard of these things, spiking neural networks or eBrains? Okay, so you can Google them. These are actually two societies which are working on, say, developing this our hardware which is having AI. Presently, we are more or less, most of the cases, we are having AI in the software part only. So using these features, all the systems, whatever we are having AI-based system, in general, we divide AI into three types. The three types are, first is called the artificial narrow intelligence. Second is the artificial general intelligence, and the third is artificial super intelligence. We are now in the artificial narrow intelligence stage. We have not yet gone to the general intelligence and super intelligence. Okay. So in narrow intelligence, what we do, this is the present day AI, and it is also called the weak AI. Okay. What do we mean by this weak AI is that if we ask the program to perform a task, the program will be performing a task. Okay. So this Siri, chatbots, autopilot, then self-driving cars that are there, they are called the weak AI group or the present AI. Okay, all of you are aware of Siri, then Alexa and other things, isn't it? All of you have heard them either in TV or seen them online, or maybe some of you might have bought this Google Assistant or this Amazon's Alexa. Any of you have them at your homes?
Yes, sir. I have a Google Assistant.
Okay, so you see here, these are actually weak AI, and they are working based on how they are programmed to do. So this narrow intelligence that we say, it is called not to be conscious and is not sentient. Means sentient means here is we human know who we are and how we behave and other things. Machines do not know at the present condition. With the present AI, they do not know who they are and how they are to behave and other things. So they use the information from a specific data set, and if you train it to do this way, it will train that way. If you train it to do the way X, way Y, way Y. If you are not giving a proper training, it will not. Say, if I train my algorithm to identify any circular object as a ball, it will consider all of them as a ball. Whether you give it an orange or you give it a lemon or you give it a cricket ball, and if you have trained your machine to say identify any spherical object as a ball, it will identify as a ball. But that thing you cannot tell a kid, because the kid will explore on its own. You may call it a ball, he may for the first time call the orange a ball, but after some times he will bite, he will be inquisitive. He will bite the cricket ball, he will bite the orange, he will bite the lemon, and he'll say that, orange, if we bite, we have some different taste. The cricket ball, if we bite, we have a different taste. Maybe that way he may figure out that the orange is a fruit and not a ball. Okay. So basic idea is that the machines will always do as they are trained to do. They will not come out of the training things, and that is why it is called the weak, and it is not having the consciousness or the sentience. So this is the basic idea, that the robot is thinking that whether it is a person or a thing, it is not able to do that. If it is able to do, then it is in non-sentient or say conscious. So the opposite of sentient is insentient, insensate, insensible, unaware, unmindful, unwitting, and other things. Unfeeling means they are not having the feelings, kind of thing. So the artificial general intelligence is the second phase, where we call it the strong AI. So they exhibit some part of human intelligence. They have the ability to learn, self-learning AI and other things we say, but still they are based on some algorithms, and they are able to understand, act accordingly. But currently, as in the present market, they are in the research stage and are not fully existing, because if it is not able to predict something if it has not received any kind of samples earlier. If your system has never got any sample like that earlier, then it will not be able to do that. Okay, clear up to this? Okay, now if it is able to think, strategize, perform multiple tasks, and under some uncertain conditions, then it can think of something else. So prior to these things, what we have is, if some prior knowledge is not there, if still the system can understand something, then it is said to be having artificial general intelligence. But nowadays still it is in the sci-fi movie stage only. So what we have here is that this particular thing is in a stage where we have the things means presently we are in the narrow intelligence stage, and maybe in future we can have this thing. So just a minute. So what we have here is that this particular we are in this artificial narrow intelligence stage, and in case we receive some unknown breakthroughs, we may go to the artificial general intelligence stage, and the last stage is the artificial super intelligence, which is say again in the sci-fi movies only. So this artificial super intelligence is normally considered to be a hypothetical AI, and it exhibits intelligence that surpasses the brightest human, because unless we have a narrow intelligence and then we are able to make the machines think like human beings, and once the machine are able to think like human beings, they can start self-learning and self-treating and self-modifying them to generate the artificial super intelligence. But these last two stages are totally in the movie part only. It is not yet physically possible. It is in the sci-fi movies domain, you can say now. But what people are working on is they are trying to work on the general intelligence. So this is a prediction that has been done, that presently we are having the artificial narrow intelligence. So they outperform us human in various functions like self-driving cars, medical diagnosis, financial advices, and many things. So jobs will enhance. But in case we are reaching this artificial general intelligence stage, where we can means machines start competing with human beings and across various say sectors, then our jobs will be at a risk. And the super intelligence thing that is after the means only after AGI is achieved, you can get the ASI. So at that time, humanity may be at risk, like many of the movies which you might have seen. So all things are having pros and cons. So I'll be stopping here for today, and rest of the things I'll take up in the next class. So Jeevan is joining now. Anyway, so.